aware that they are avoiding paying tax, they are avoiding paying taxes. The government resorts to get to that from because if you should trade and money is just before the that's one. Second, just find that the study that we conducted a while back found out that the government is setting up policies that all aimed at attracting investments, but are providing huge incentives for foreign investors to return to citizens of this world to invest, and they are not paying a dime over a period of 10 years. What happens if you go to Naivasha, for instance, all those flower farms, the so-called river, those special economic zones. There are companies there that are number one, not only increasing their workers, that are paying their workers, but they are not paying a single dime in tax over a period of time. And what they do is, and these are cases in Tanzania, these companies operate, they're given a 5-year tax holiday. After that period is over, close up, and either move to the next country, they move to Uganda, or they close up and open under a new name. The same people, but under a new management, a new name of the company, and they continue enjoying the same incentives. So I'll tell you, Tanzania that has been changing names every 5 years. It was called, it's now called Palm Beach, and every 5 years, this names for the single incentive that the Tanzanian government offers to tourism is not only that companies are getting over years without paying tax, but they're also exploiting workers and those to mention. Now, when I initially conducted, found out that in the East African region, we are losing up to $2.8 billion as a result of that. This is money again that would have been inside. In a nutshell, I think that as we carry out the conversation on how we shouldn't, the way they are located in a manner that increases inequality, looking at who is paying, who is not paying, and those that are not paying, why are they not paying? How do we ensure that we are closing those loopholes that allow companies and the rich and the wealthy to pay taxes? There's no corruption scandal, mega corruption scandal I know in Kenya. And we let and we listen. All those companies that were being mentioned that were registered in Jersey that were getting huge contracts, and nobody knew those companies. Why? Because it's not a Kenyan politician who moved to Jersey, opened this company, and those are the companies that are getting the contracts. So there is a linkage between corruption in that particular case with the revenue erosion and the inability of governments in general to raise the revenue they require. This regard, just to finish, because I was broader conversation. Organization the 9 regional organizations from Africa, third one, network about those loopholes that are allowing the option and ensuring through that the government is able to capture the right revenue and final development, and not just capture the revenue, but ensuring the costs that are wealthy, those that are rich, and paying the equitable share, because I think that really can produce democracy. That we are all contributing to that. Because the launch of the campaign, we are launching the campaign to impact, and the hashtag is
comments sort of or questions for us or for discussions.
The other day, we were in a presentation by doing mining in Kenya. Also register subsidiary in some tax Seychelles or wherever, or Bahamas. And so I will come, of course, get incentives to invest, to bring in money, start mining and all that, crash, then report that get the tax. But then I trade with another company registered in my name. So I sell to that company at almost zero. There's no profit.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm not going to make any profit. Yet that company now goes to the international market at market value.
Yes.
So I don't pay taxes in that company market. How do they get away with this?
I mean, that is not really only related to tax. Trafficking is one of the most but one is in the flower sector particularly. There is buying of I sell flowers completely, and they buy them less than a cent. Auction. Based on the Dutch auction, how much higher rate in Dubai because tax haven either is of the because you have not rely on the figures that this company has presented. This is what we produce, and this is what we are selling, and this is the rate. You have no way of finding out, and that's one of the major pushes that as a beneficiary can say wouldn't for that let's call it German. Yes. But, like for example, I mean, like just to give you Google, them all Google. Well, big part of their revenues are not generated in those countries where they operate, but in some subsidiaries that are registered in some jurisdictions, some taxes in some way. And they are not called Walmart. They are not called they can be called any of them, but you have no way of knowing who that is. There was an analysis that was done a while back where they were trying to find out how easy is it to register a company without basically knowing who's name. Across the world, they did some survey. And surprisingly enough, Kenya ranked among actually the top. That you can register a company using trusts and all kinds of entities without a person who into a company trade and comes in you. And on the face that are trading each other, while in reality, the same person dealing with himself, ensuring that it's not declaring the profits where he should and shifting that away to having voice is not allowed. That's that. That's what I found as but it sounds more honorable, it sounds more respectable, but in essence
It explains why the gas companies are so Prince Waterhouse.
yeah, big five.
A follow-up question. Just something because you're talking about, yeah, that was passed. The multinationals, the blue, are not paying taxes because of waiting. Then who's paying?
You need to look at the budget. And all these kinds of information, you find that over time, you will find the corporate income sorry, February payers. It's not taxes on profit. The taxes on profit is shrinking. What is increasing is the excise tax because the state has increased the excise tax on beer, but also the which is tax they're not paying themselves, but they're collecting from the staff. So we need to find this out. Who is actually paying the tax? This 2 trillion. Where is it coming? What are the numbers? We find that the corporate income tax is shrinking, it's going down, while excise tax, VAT, and all these other taxes that affect you and me directly at the one level. So of course with the uh, formalize investors that we transfer tax income at the expense of but less contribution from profit.
Just to make a comment on the tax, I think the projection by Kara about 900 billion, budget is 2.5, tells you finance it through borrowing. But in terms of the companies, I'm a willing seller and he's a willing buyer, we have so is the issue knowing actually who owns it, or
Actually, which lies at the heart of the problem. It's like this very complex account. But something like the general rule, which was that's the highest of maybe some Google value on that, because without value you can't tax. So you can only collect tax once you have put something on what you have put for this goods, this service cost. Price is what I the difference, which is the cost of manufacture minus cost of sale. I mean, what you're selling it. The revenue or the profit out of that you pay your tax. So if you are not able to put a price on that, you find that just an example, there was an analysis was done which found out that if you look at you go to Kenya Tea Development Authority, how much tea did you guys export to Pakistan and the UK? You on the other end, how much tea did you import? From Kenya, we imported tea both 1 billion Kenya will tell you we imported tea to the UK. When did that difference? It was under deal. Because while the tea and went directly to Pakistan, the paper trade follows a totally different. Find that starts from is the trading companies in Mauritius, companies in Cayman Islands, in Bermuda. Several channels. Actually, those companies. Yes, and company.
Mine is a bit more of a social question.
Yes.
Because sometimes I feel like we talk too much about the economics of things
Yes.
and the social. Because say it takes us 10 years to change the way people are looking at things in general about corruption. Focusing mainly on, just look at this grouping, the youngest person here is the point all the big companies that are thriving in this particular corrupt environment are also doing like great them lead in the next 15 years. So how are we changing anything? Because if this conversation does not, I mean, personally, I think I understand a lot of things, but I don't necessarily do that anymore. I don't enjoy accountant topics, anything to do with math. Just keep it to the side. Someone else will deal with it. Now,
Yeah.
but what about the other Kenyans? There's not 40 million Kenyans.
Yes.
There's probably less than a million who actually get this particular conversation.
Very true. I would respond. Is not as is important. It's absolutely important. But finding ways, and that's the conversation we're having. How do you turn that conversation in a manner that people are able to get to? You follow the Occupy movement. Okay, US and not states. The Occupy movement was nothing else but it was about top who are owning huge resources and they are not the roads that they're using, all this infrastructure is paid by someone, it's paid by you and me. But ultimately, they are the beneficiaries of that. They are the beneficiaries of the system while they're exploiting the system. That's what it boils down to. So the World Occupy movement can criticize about what it ultimately achieved, but it was about how to ensure that the wealth of the nations, the wealth of the country, are shared in a manner that is equitable. There's very few statistics which actually in other countries would have caused revolutions, where they were saying that there are about 80,000. Let me call you back. Um, but the wealth of this country, over two-thirds of the wealth of this country is owned by less than 10,000. Want to imagine that. And at the same time, our recent budget says, well, we have tried to introduce capital gains tax. Towards the most able to remove tax that are trading in stock exchanges. That's where the billions are being made. the kind of investment that we are seeing here, that's where the money is being made. But those are the taxes that we are not collecting. Instead, we are using taxes on rents and other places. So it is that the kind of conversation I think that we can bring in citizens to want to sort of get them understand or feel aggrieved about the current situation. The 2 trillion we're talking about is money that is taken from my pocket, while the other guy who is able to pay is getting away with it. That's one. Second, of course, the business. I mean, but some of our colleagues, civil society organizations were actually chased away by the local communities who went there to sensitize them. Look, this mining company here has been here for so many years. This is the amount of revenue. This is the amount of revenue that they are making. But look at the kind of circumstances they're living in. And the citizens were like, what are you guys talking about? Look at that school. It's painted by this company. Look at this particular scholarship. These are the people that the corporate teach is that as a citizen, why should a corporate citizen do? Then why should they say, okay, when as much as I'm not paying taxes, I'm at least getting building a roundabout somewhere, getting a school somewhere, things like that. So the corporate social responsibility has become an avenue for getting buy-ins of citizens, sort of removing the pressures that would have emerged if those things were not. Because, of course, on one side, you have citizens that are not providing the services that are provided because they because some of it but because the services that which is the city's kind of provide that.
Thanks.
So it's not only questions, also comments away.
And thanks for that. Maybe a more fundamental question.
Yes.
Is that when you focus on taxes, are we not losing the more fundamental problem of because if you look at taxes, look at a company like Safaricom inside out it is 100% owned because of some deals where no money actually entered the country, a group of people came from UK, and now it is 40% owned. And on top of that, they're running the company, so they decide. Now, if you look at the revenue tax in the taxes, but we don't look at the revenue. Now, this 144 billion is in the hands of Vodafone. They decide whether they're going to buy, from Germans or wait. So you find that, as in, who they decide to outsource some of the services, the people gives us some of the customer services and any other services that they're outsourcing. You find that we lose so much more money through those hidden expenditures that could have been spent in another kind of way than The question: why was the company privatized in the first place? Companies, business that individuals, when those companies become now start asking the question of why is the company things like the antitrust law, which relates to what is dealing with itself, right? And five companies, other companies manufacturing the body, another company is manufacturing the motherboard, another the screen. Why are you stopping? Because you say you do business and you must protect the people who do business. And then when business but the companies stop these businesses from becoming big. For example, look at China state owned 100%, as in the is 100%. On whatever profits are coming out of these companies, they know how much allowing those companies to keep us like what is saying should come and answer which is this entire market or that is now going to even look at more companies that are supposed to be earning money for the state directly and saying let's privatize them. Then of course when they become privatized, now let's start talking about the small 10% profits that they're making instead of like 100%. Is that more?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tackle each of them. Procurement. In terms of goods and services, where is it? We live, we like it or we don't like it, in a market economy, free market economy. It's not very free, but free market economy, where you cannot draw that line and say, okay, we are a company, we want you to start sourcing. What is it? Is through the procurement clause, what it says, like America, Kenya, our budget recently say we're going to introduce laws that require companies to source your regulations that regulate how much of outsourcing can be done. Both government procurement, how much of it must the government have a company. That's the second problem in the country was raising the question of allocations. They're actually state-run enterprises. How much money has been allocated? This is what is going to counties. So why I'm raising that state-run enterprises so we need to have a more deeper conversation about service goods people.
Is really a concept. And in Kenya, there are three stages that it either there is a tax holiday, then there is raised triple P. That's another step that actually the private sector has. But this way, look, if these investors, we should even call them exploiters. They're not really investors. When they come into the country, they don't come by their own. Once they arrive, even then they don't to come and invest on health, they blackmail us that we cannot to give equipment to be imported tax free. In terms of import tax, because it is invested in education, because our government cannot provide education. Then of the budget always over budget. You see, even in your houses, you don't say 22 billion and you can only raise, some 2 shillings somewhere. But they make a deliberate deficit to make money. For example, example, if you talk about the bus, and actually the same government, so to them they see up 30 billion. Then they will went through a bond and 16, 20, 30% comes back to him. In terms of aid that you're talking about, really that's a case because but where aid goes up, poverty of our people also increases because again, that is a systematic problem. Then my other CSR is a very clever way to depoliticize a hostile environment. Because you see, business loves peace. They say money loves a very peaceful environment. So, but if you have people making noise around you, then the money disappears. So I think a CSR, the way you put it, is a very good thing. So if you go to, for example, in Kenya, a place I've done, very difficult places in Kwale. If you go to Kwale, it produces billions of dollars in terms of titanium. It's titanium-based resources. But the locals are poor but very happy. Extremely poor but very happy indeed. Because they have never seen the kind of infrastructural development that has come with titanium-based resources. Actually, they forgot that even it's a responsibility of the government to build the roads. And then the whole idea that I think we should be very careful about is this charity thing. You know, titanium-based resources is thinking that it's doing as a more charitable, yes. But in actual sense, they are actually exploiting, extracting that mineral. And the worst thing is that they're taking it as soil. So that means we do not know what part of that soil is titanium. And that what part of that soil should be taxed. So it is a very clear way in which now on the tax regimes, mentioned that implementing a progressive tax. My example is Greece. You mentioned Greece. It was 9. One of, and they ended up having money overnight. So that was the case. So too much only thing is that it's concentrating on the 1%. So we must have then a government in place that can be implement what the government can never control anything. It's not a so you are bringing the economy at hold. So that's why the way the private sector that means national oil was introduced as a government-led alternative fuel. The law. Let government then as the price. But the regulator cannot pay 3 times the price. You can only make 8 shillings, 2 shillings. So the government must be physical policies and also become a player. And that's why I was tying it to this. That is, for example,
Very expensive.
But the taxation element. The commodities are all below. They are almost bread, almost below low. The government is a regulator. So the issue of a free market is only rich. And then another cancer that I would want to mention last on competitive economy. A speculator does not work but makes more money. So what takes place in is robbery in a nutshell. Physical policy. For example, if Chris Kirubi, this is allocated expenditure. You see the Uhuru's costing us millions of dollars. What is achieved, I don't know, but we are yet to know. Probably the last came after he left.
There was a
One thing education, the last question. Now, if then we are looking for the equality that you're talking about,
You say the main problem we have is that the cake is small, no? And so it's not enough for all of us. So what are some of the ways of increasing the cake? Taking into consideration that the countries or the multinationals also become part of the policy
I think the question we're talking about two issues. One is the revolving door idea that you find that people are moving from government to private sector, from private sector back to government. So, and this is not a unique, it's not a Kenyan unique situation. We see that globally, we see that in developed economies. So that the question of vested interests becomes key. You find that one of the reasons why for a long time it has taken long time to even get access, which is by the way existing in Tanzania, it's existing in Uganda, it's existing in Rwanda. In Kenya, the one reason why it was not introduced or not introduced was because at exactly the exchange this country. Products, job loss. I'm saying we are the glue of this country in terms of how transportation happens. You introduce VAT or you increase VAT, but who was speaking for the citizens? That's why I think that forums like these are really, really important in terms of organizing and sharing and strategizing and trying to find ways how can we then develop sort of a coherent message which we can be able to push along. For issues. Companies may say consultants to come. These laws actually before even they are passed, we find our MPs are free. The tobacco tax, for instance. Our MPs were free to Mombasa and they went there for it to be taught on the impact of increasing tax on tobacco by VAT.
Some of these companies draft the laws.
They draft the laws. It is the biggest. I think that there is that mindset that at this who is a few years back, 80s and early 90s, you will find every time the budget is read, Saitoti was that time. You find parties, budget, no, you're not finding free education. Celebrating with the holding the budget higher. So how do we remove the perception? How do we increase the perception that we are the taxpayer consume anything, and that gives you the right to demand how that money is spent, how the laws that determine. Then you see developed economies, you see this Tea Party movement in the US. It's all about what kind of policies governments are putting in place on who are you taxing, how are you taxing, who are you taxing. And so increasing citizens' voices and representation on this matter is absolutely key to ensure that we are increasing the cake and increasing it in a manner that is not burdening those around that are carrying the
Yeah, so it's a bit of a comment and also a question. Now, I work with Search for Common Ground. I wouldn't say that I'm proud because we're one of the organizations that are channel oil in terms of changing their face on the ground because they have a lot of complaints about how they mine and communities that are being exploited. So they come to the humanitarians, which is us, and we give peace conflict resolution. And we're basically supposed to make turn the oil look good. And now we're in Tanzania, and we've started scholarships, schools, hospitals, name it. But what I'm saying is, these big industries are now changing their tactics in terms of how they look on the ground to do better. And some of them mentioned social issues there. I wanted to say they have very good lobbyist groups. So maybe one approach we should take is lobbying. As an example, would be the US in the 90s where these retractable plastic syringes, why they came about was a nurse, and they used to use the metal ones, and an AIDS patient came in and she got AIDS because he was erratic. And what they did was different civil society groups merged and created a very strong lobbyist group and created policy within the government to force plastic syringes, which are less harmful and also the spread of AIDS, I mean, they helped and they're cheaper. So really, hospitals were using the metal ones to save money for themselves, which is private industry. So are we looking at those kind of approaches when we look at social issues in terms of lobbying? Maybe we need to focus on policy up there than first communicating to the wananchi who first doesn't even understand what you're doing for them.
I think that organization, because I'm sure it's very rare that you sit in forums where people identify themselves as movement activists, and particularly for some of us, the victim of that of easy doing this kind of thing. That what you're doing, how you can translate into what is happening on the ground, and that this conversation is something that Kenya topic. So they were saying billions of dollar money stolen, billions of this year by the money stolen, and citizens also cares. So, clever guy managed to. There was this scandal. I think it was Mama Lucy when she was going to America with a Sabinist. They were talking about taxpayers' money. It is taxpayers' money that is being, because that's the language we need to be talking about. Seeing ourselves as taxpayers and helping us organize and so identifying what issues are, breaking the complexities, and then organizing in terms of increasing the risk and pressure. And of course, the risk of, I think there's also, there are even within governments and in parliaments, champions, there are people there who could really be voice reason and they can carry us some of this. Instead of the risk of also stripping everything on the one hand and saying parliament is useless, and I think that is not as constructive as I say. We have to believe in the cause who are still sort of have that kind of more of or we can identify them and say, okay, these are the issues we need to keep forward.
Yes. At the end of the day, it's been said that you need to speak to the oppressor in a language that he understands. So back in the day with the Mau Mau, it was they like violence, let's be violent. Today, predominantly you find that it's usually over long that make you a slave. Because you brought into this system where we're giving you something. And I keep on going back to mentoring and then the time which is done. There's a study that was done in 1970 where they were talking about in Europe. They were talking about how if you find a man who's living in the worst kind of conditions and you ask him what he wants, he's not going to tell you that he needs a new house. He's going to tell you about the immediate need, which is he probably needs fuel. He won't even ask for electricity. He'll ask for paraffin because that's what he needs right now. Now, right, when I look around, a lot of kids are getting scholarships, very bright kids. And it's not just outside the country, it's also within the country. And then there's this big brother mentality that is being developed because of those scholarships, where you find to name equity has this whole not just wings to fly. I mean, before that it was the whole was pre-graduate thing. Now they have wings to fly. There's a lot of other organizations that are doing the same thing. Except that if you try to tell that kid when he's 25 and has been in that particular system since he was 18, getting 25,000 per month to do the work, teller would be paid 60K, they will not see it because, first of all, that 12,000. So they could, but this same approach. If civil society has a million bob, invest 200K in doing the same thing, but only actually doing something that these kids are going to do, letting them free think. Because fortunately or unfortunately, I did not I'm not going to, but I do not want to. I'm always giving the same conditions, giving here or not ruling. And the second that I feel that much money or I'm getting this much benefit from showing the God of that. And then you find guys who are 40 years stressed, doing the same fucking thing, knowing that it's wrong, but they're getting it. Keep on doing it because it serves your interests. And then we will then go into the streets and chant and cry about the same thing being done, only in higher levels, because we have not yet got there. The second we get there, we sit in and we settle. So I think, as opposed to having the same well, when I feel like we should not do what the bad guys are doing, but clearly it's working. Al Shabaab is clear. Other, I mean, it's another extreme, but it's the same thing. You check these kids when they're very young, 19, they don't have any qualms blowing a pregnant mother. It's
The arts and mainstream and what are the alternative constitution could be. That's another conversation already. So I would want to explore further this psychoanalysis and interest. Probably should start with Maskani. Maybe. Yeah. As good
And
as
ideological school. That's the conversation we usually have with SDP.
I don't know if you don't link it.
Yeah, but some has been brought about political parties. Political parties are meant to influence policy, politics and policy. Ideological parties.
Yes.
And then, so we cannot produce politicians of ideology. And so we cannot expect that our leaders to think the way Muller is thinking. Because they do not come from such a
void. One of those spaces to learn.
Before you leave,
Yes.
if you want to learn about Christianity, you go to church. About Islam, you go to the mosque. All the problems are with that. PI, that's Philippines Communist Party. There's no way you can start an ideological. It's only has to be organized in ideological.
Because you
Having a hands to do,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately.
See that hashtag stop the bleeding. There's a launch, but the conversation is ongoing on social media. You'll find a lot of material on illicit financial flows, what it means to Kenyans, how much of your money is going out there. If you can support, and on the day of the launch, you can be there physically. Tweet the hashtag. There'll be a lot of talks in the media, in the morning shows, and radio TV and radio shows around this. And I think this is something that we can all relate to because it's our money. It's our money that is going to these companies. So let's support.
So what I would propose is, as Alvin departs, thank you very much. We would be interested, I think, to continue having conversations around taxes and what that I think that's the issues that you raised, what you was raising, the issue that you were raising on this other resources in how it's in India, God, that is the clever lobbyist. Lobbying for the citizen, or how can we get the citizen to lobby for themselves? Is an interesting area of exploration. My proposal would be that we break for 5 minutes. Sorry, and there are people that I'm looking at say and if
I have a big Honorable Aluale. Where can I find it?
I'll come back at around. You not covered your left. Hello.
Only time she like more than what else. The key more, bad more, concert more, paycheck. Some you shoot for Liana. Only more, yeah, so who are you? 10,000 hours. Sky paid, red flower. In a blue sour. A day, I shower. In a kind of mahogany at the 10%. Sigazo fair. All the pain and joy Mama nitakuwa fema Ewanje Baraka pili nimekufa moyo ninashinda kuendelea Be a son, chase never drown anybody 10 million 20 come no million for you. This whole idea, whole initiative, that contributes beyond the good 21 gun salute. I chosen in the for free. Nigga has my shit. Two means free. Now my advance me. Oh, my results for is it what? Make you Mungu nina macho ya kunotice. Imani ama mani gani kutatilia manani. God is not good, He is goodest. Anything to drama kuliko His commandments. Nitapanda ndege kuwa fema Andila pini moja niwekele Sio kimiliki unashinda manaenda na kutii is a good mind compressed human being kama fighting is I'm still Giuliani, party. I'm still Giuliani, Buddha, masterpiece. Lakini nikilose guys, nani gonna dish to unajua ule nani usiniite ule nani. That is my destiny. Jesus na Junior usisema ule nani. Ukitaka job kula laya na ifu yacho kama chago bojo. Afya na kumagaza cruising Kirati Juliani nikivaa kipati masterpiece ule nani unajua ule nani tafadhali usiniite ule nani. Christ is my destiny. Ni Jesus na Junior usisema ule nani. Nimeona Edition bigi kuwa less usipoeka Christopher Thousand Bob no taita shuka ikianguka chini kwa pathway vale itakuwa ya jiwe nikifiki kata kwa manufaa suti niache kuvaa tunasema katika ajali nisitwae juu amepei niache kuishi juu amedai nikirona Bugatti